to do this again. I tried this earlier and couldn't get it to load up, and then I lost all my stuff that I had downloaded. So anyway, we're going to go through I'm going to try to do every team in the SEC. I'm going to do the ones that I'm really going to be keeping an eye on uh, first, though, to make sure that I get them done. I'm going to start off with my team, the Tennessee Volunteers. The 2020 schedule actually looks pretty promising for the Vols. Just read um, from a reporter at ESPN talking about Tennessee's defense this year, and he has them projected at number 7 defense in the country, which is got me pretty excited. I'm a defensive guy anyway, so our defense really needed a lot of improvement. It's improved in the last couple of years, but anyway, this is about the 2020 season. September 5th, we will be opening up Neyland Stadium against the Charlotte 49ers. And, as long as we come out, we're ready, and we don't start the 2020 season the same way that we started the 2019 season, we should be okay. This should be a good warm-up game, good scrimmage type of game setting. I think that you'll get to see a lot of Eric Gray. I think that's what Pruitt and Chaney kind of want to do. They want to utilize that run to open up the pass. And it can be very effective as long as you have the right quarterback in place. And it could be Garantano, save Harrison Bailey for the next couple seasons, or they could go with Bailey right off the jump. I mean, if he's ready to go, I don't see why Pruitt wouldn't play him. September the 12th, though, we head to Norman, Oklahoma, and that's going to be a game that Tennessee's probably not going to be favored in, but it's a very winnable game. Yes, Oklahoma's made the playoffs the last few years, and they've been embarrassed every single time, so they're not really that sound of a football team. They lose Jalen Hurts this year, so I don't know what they're going to have at quarterback. Really not that good of a team. The Big 12 is not that good of a conference. So I don't think that that's an automatic loss for us. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But Oklahoma's a very winnable game, and I've got us winning that game. Then we come back home. We've got Furman on September the 19th. Again, as long as we don't do like we did, at the start of the 2019 season with Georgia State, we'll be fine. That'll be a good, warm-up game for SEC play for the following week against the Florida Gators. I want to say that we're going to win that game, but we're probably not. It's Florida's going to be a very, very tough out this year for anybody. They're much improved. Their offense, they're going to throw the ball all over the yard. Kyle Trask has proven to be a pretty sound, fundamental quarterback. Yeah, he don't really do anything spectacular, but he don't make mistakes. Very good sound fundamentally. He's very good at pre-snap reads. So the Florida Gators, they're going to be a tough out for anybody this year. And as a matter of fact, I have them picked as of right now of winning the East. And this is where it gets really interesting for the Tennessee. You got Missouri coming to Neyland after that on October the 3rd. Very possibly could be a one-loss team at this point. And I think that they're going to handle business against Missouri. Missouri does nothing to impress me whatsoever. They just got rid of their coach, and so they're going to be starting fresh with a brand new coaching staff. Um, Now, October the 10th, we travel to South Carolina again. We should go down and take care of business. We're much better talent-wise than South Carolina is. You know, Will Muschamp has had our number in the past few years. We got them last year and handled them pretty well, so I don't think much is going to change in that game. And we're on a bye week, October the 17th, and then we got the big one coming up. And I'm going to mark this Bama game on October the 24th as being a toss-up. Bama's not been as dominant. They've actually been on a small down, on a down, they've been going downhill for a little while. But downhill for Bama and downhill for anybody else is there's a great difference in it. So they're still going to be a good sound football team. They're just not going to be dominant like the Bama that people have gotten used to in the 2010s. So then we head to Arkansas, and there's nothing at all to say about this. Arkansas is, I want to say possibly, but I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and say that they are the worst team in the SEC. So there's nothing else to say about it. Tennessee's going to destroy Arkansas. It's going to be ugly. Then we got Kentucky coming to Neyland, November the 7th. And again, Kentucky is much improved. It's going to be a very tough out. I think that Pruitt and the boys can get this done. I don't think that they're going to. I think it's going to be close for the first couple quarters. We'll have to really see. I could change my mind later on this game because I want to see what Mark Stoops does with all the talent he has coming in and returning. So it's yet to be seen. Is he as great as I think he is? Then that game could be a toss-up too. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Volunteers to be victorious against Kentucky on November the 7th. Then we head to Georgia. And Georgia won the recruiting battle just like they do every year. And they, I think, were number one overall. Past few years, they've been number one or number two. But, they're not that big of a threat. I don't think Georgia's the best team in the East. I don't. I think that Georgia stood out in the East because the East was so bad for the past few years. And I think Tennessee could go down there and beat the Bulldogs. There's no reason we can't go down there and beat them. They're not unbeatable. We can handle business down there. South Carolina took it to them in Athens in 2019. Kirby is a great recruiter, but not so much of a great coach. So I don't think that Pruitt's going to struggle with Kirby Smart much longer. I'm going to mark that game as a toss-up right now, but it could go either way. And Tennessee could win that game. We could also lose that game. So at this point, I have us with the toss-up of Bama and Georgia and a loss to Florida. And I think that our season is going to be defined on that Georgia game. If somehow we can knock off those two toss-up games of Alabama and Georgia, I really think that this scenario has a chance to play out. Florida could lose 2 more games in the SEC, and Tennessee could either be in Athens, or if Florida goes to the SEC championship, like I think will happen, I believe that they could possibly lose in the championship, and that would catapult a one-loss Tennessee team into the playoffs. I know you guys are going to say, "Oh, you're looking through your orange glasses." I don't do that. You can ask anybody that personally knows me. You can talk to anybody. A couple years ago, I said we would be lucky to win a game in the SEC. All them Big Orange faithful told me I was crazy. I was going off of what I seen on the field and what I see happening. Now I could change my mind if the season starts off anything like it did last season. But from where I sit right now, Tennessee has a real shot to make a big statement this year. So that being said, we're going to move ahead to Troy and Vanderbilt, and that is what it is. I think we win those last two games. Tennessee could end up finishing up the season, the regular season, at 10-2, possibly even 11-1. I know you guys are going to think that's far fetched, but um, we won 7 regular season games this last season, this previous season in 2019. The 2 games that we should have won that we dropped right at the end on both of them is Georgia State and BYU. If you give those 2 games back, the Vols are dead on 9-3, just like I called last year. And that's woulda, coulda, shoulda. It don't mean it's going to happen. It's not going to change anything. But the fact of the matter is, I'm going to pick the Vols right now at a possible 10-2 and 11-1 being the best case scenario. You can. I'm not telling you to bank on it because we've yet to see who's going to be quarterback, and if it is Garantano, how he's going to react this season compared to last season. He could come out and have the season of his life. Maybe impress the NFL scouts enough that they want to draft him into the Pro Football League. So it's yet to be seen. But anyway, that's my pick. And I'm going to try to get Georgia done next, and maybe Kentucky and Florida, and we'll see where it goes from there. Anyway, right now I think the Vols could very well end up 11-1. Worst case scenario, 9-3. So I think they'll be right around the 10-win regular season range this year. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.